can kick it off with some conversation. I know you had a rough past, we don't have to move fast. Take it real slow, let you contemplate it. I just want you to know.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Amiyah Deziire, and as you can see, I am here with the man who's usually behind the scenes, Mr. R Moment. Let's just give you a little bit of background story on him and I. So we've been friends for 17 years. We actually met in a writing class at University of Maryland for seniors getting ready to go off to college. So we have pretty much seen each other grow up. It's been a very amazing journey, to say the least. And I'm super excited to have this opportunity to just be here and see where this goes in the next couple of years, right? Yeah. So we are going to do what most millennials do, right? Which is talk about social media. I currently have Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. I'm not on Twitter. I could not get the hang of Twitter. Twitter is, however, definitely popping. But
like the fastest way to
it is.
Somebody,
but remember Black Planet, MySpace. I like Black Planet.
You can make your little background.
Yes,
page,
and we have music, right?
Yeah,
we have music. I think at some point in time, I went from like a PG-13 username to like something super sexy that was totally
on Black Planet.
On Black Planet, I think so. I think
I was really in them DMs till I was on MySpace, you know.
I liked MySpace, but remember people used to get mad about MySpace because they were like, why I'm not in your top 5? Why you just don't make it larger and get to the top 10? I'm like, I don't like y'all like that. But then, you know, you thought about it and you had certain people in your top 5 and your top 10. That was actually really funny. Even so much so that T-Mobile came out with the top 5. Remember that? You could have top 5s on your phone.
Kind of still that.
So I think that's actually kind of cool, like how social media has transitioned from one thing to another. Those of us who were not in school were upset and stayed on MySpace a little bit longer. And then when Facebook opened up,
I felt some kind of way when everybody had Facebook.
I did too, and I don't think I was at Bowie State long enough.
No access in there.
Yeah, okay. Had to have an EDU email to get in.
But Facebook, like, I mean, I feel like I've neglected Facebook. I'm like just getting back on Facebook. Like I had a nice little following when I was really heavy into the music, like producing and stuff. But like I've neglected it. I guess it's because I'm coming from that photography side, that picture side. So I have to post pictures. You know? I'm not so much into talking or typing up, you know.
Well, I can see that.
But I'm learning that I need to. So.
It's a great platform for dialogue. That's what I'm learning is that, and I've been on that platform for a while because I'm a writer. And so for me, the question of the day or, you know, whatever it is, just to really engage in people. I love to engage in people and I love to hear people's thoughts. Ask a question and you will get a variety of opinions. Man, I have some of the funniest people on my Facebook. I think sometimes Facebook can become overwhelming. Right?
How so?
So for me, what I've learned is through the years, as I've gotten older, because there's some societal boxes that I think I should be a part of. Right? So for example, I'm 34, I don't have any kids, and I'm single, which is amazing, right? But society is like, what's wrong with you? You're 34, you're single, you don't have any kids. Right. So as soon as I see a friend who's pregnant or getting married, you know, I'm like, there's that first thought of like, what's wrong with you? And then I have to pull it back and be like, your time, you know, like it's all good. Like you'll get there, you're good, right? But it can be overwhelming with a lot of information, people who are negative. You have to be very careful of what you let in your space. So last weekend, I actually did a 4-day no social media cleanse.
And how does that work? Like,
I deleted the apps off my phone.
Okay.
And ironically enough, if you delete the apps off your phone, there's no real desire to log in on my laptop. Like, there's no desire to log in on my laptop. Right. I didn't miss it. Yeah. I didn't miss it, but because we're in this life of being in Black podcasts, being a writer, photographer, videographer, you have to be
it's almost
active.
Mandatory, or your business is not going to thrive.
Exactly.
I think my business definitely started off of word of mouth, and I got very used to that. And then I had to hop in this social media game, and to be honest, I hate it. I don't like it. If I could be a very private person, I would be. But I think I'm like any other artist. We just want to show our work.
Absolutely.
I don't want to talk about it necessarily, but
yeah. I think that there has to be balance. What I learned early on in Facebook is that I don't post any negative things, right? I want to be somebody who's a constant ball of light. If you see my status, you'll know that you're going to be uplifted, or, you'll just know you'll see something.
But tell me about that. Like, what I'm noticing, and I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think that the negative stuff gets more attention.
Absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
If I post something positive, nobody's paying that shit attention. But let me put some, I'm having this issue, or this is going on.
Right.
Everybody's all eyes on that shit.
I think it depends, right? So what I've learned is I have a great group of friends who loves to see positive things. So this afternoon I posted, I said, I hope whatever your heart desires, that you get that 10 times over, and that your life is flooded with blessings, right? That was something that just came to my heart, so I just said it, right? But there are plenty of people that I know who speak truths or positive things who get 5-10 likes. They come out and be like, men ain't shit. 3,000 likes and 457 comments. You know what I mean? So it's all about what you want to pay attention to and what you want to feed into. And what I'm learning is that we have to be mindful of that, because it's detrimental, right?
Yeah. Does that have like some determining factor in our life? Like, does that have some like, okay, I didn't get this many likes. Damn, do I need to pull this post down? Instead of it just being about engagement.
Social media is all about attention.
Okay.
Every bit of it is all about attention, unless you decide otherwise. You have to make a choice, and you have to be conscious about it to be like, that's not what this is for. Your platform you can use to disseminate information, right? So Maya, she's vegan. Her page and some of her information is about how it is to be a vegan, the lifestyle, the foods you should eat, what the foods do for you, that type of thing. Or you could be 50 Cent, who's petty, and post a picture of how he bought out Ja Rule's concert. You know what I mean? So, like, everything that you do is a choice, ultimately. And so, therefore, it's always going to be about, to some degree, it's always going to be about acceptance and approval, right? That's why we have Instagram models and girls who are solely famous because they got ass injections. Baffles me, because I didn't even know that was a thing. But as a society, we've become very shallow.
So, the flip side to social media, it's effectiveness, and whatever agenda needs to be pushed, it's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
So, I know in another conversation we were having about this whole R. Kelly deal, and how influential Black Twitter is. How powerful is that? How powerful do you see Black Twitter?
I believe Black Twitter is very powerful. How many white people have we gotten fired? Right? The lady who we made fun of for calling the cops on the guy who was having the cookout.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The lady who called the cops on the little girl who was selling water or candy on the sidewalk, right? It's powerful because the internet is at your fingertips. The power of social media, the power of the internet is easy because the information that we have is so vast. Like, there's nothing you can't find on there. And so I think that the power should be used specifically for good, right? I mean, like, we all know that people are gonna use it for bad anyway. So I feel like the good guys should get some ammo and use it as well. But I do think Black Twitter is,
you know, I think about like Reza Islam, I believe that's his right name, and I was watching this dude, like, I wasn't really on his pages, but I would continue to see him pop up, you know, and then I started listening, and I'm like, this dude really has some knowledge.
Okay.
And his platform is set now. He has a way he can speak his truths, you know, directly to whoever wants to listen.
right.
And I just think about the influence of, like, with this whole little Gucci thing that's going on, you know, it's enough people out here to understand the use of our power, you know. I just believe that we need to use it more often.
I agree.
I look at, I think I sent you something today about what Monique was talking, her and her husband, Sydney, were having, I believe it was like a live conversation.
Yeah.
And what I'm noticing is that she's understanding the power of
Absolutely.
social media.
Going to your fans directly.
You know? So, you know, when you need agendas pushed, you know,
social media is the place. I mean, I think we all need to have, every agenda is going to be pushed. Every agenda is going to be pushed on social media. It's up to you to decide which ones you're willing to get into a battle or argument for. That's what I have seen it multiple times, but I had to catch myself. You know, a guy will come on and be like, you know, women want a man who is docile, who she can, you know, manipulate and this and the third. And I look at the conversation and I go, hey, let's not do this today. You know, and I legit just, I just scroll over it. But there are other conversations where I want to engage because I want to say, well, that's not true. You know, that's not real. However, I will say this. I've been in multiple conversations, like the one I just mentioned, with a particular guy on Facebook. And finally, he inboxed me and he said, this doesn't make sense to you because you're not that type of woman. Right? So, and I had to take a step back and like really let that soak in because it makes sense. Because I'm trying to defend something that doesn't apply to me.
Right.
Therefore, I can't really, you know, when I give my input, then it looks like, but you're not like the women that we're mentioning on this status, so why even bother comment? So that's also something to consider and to think about. I think a lot of people feel like they have to react versus just being and letting it just go.
Right.
Small question. Do you think that you should follow your significant other on social media?
Definitely. If I'm following my significant other, it's I think it's more of like for support, you know. You know, of course you want to like the pictures that y'all take together, you know, the experiences y'all do, and then you could talk about them, you can engage other people about them. That's my vision of social media.
A lot of people say, well, not a lot. I've had conversations where we always have where we debate in reference to like, oh, I don't follow my significant other at all. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, none of that. And then on the flip side of that, I feel like oftentimes that's where we meet our significant other. So I met you when you requested me or I requested you as a friend, and then once you're friends on Facebook, you normally get suggested on Instagram or vice versa. If you exchange phone numbers, then that person will pop up on your Snapchat and your Instagram. I think that I will not post a relationship on social media until I'm like a year in.
I mean, it depends on who you are, you know. Some people like it just posting their experiences, you know. I don't know. I see my world is just totally different. So when I'm looking at things, I'm looking at an experience. You know, I could be at a restaurant having dinner, and I'm just taking a picture of that moment. You know, because with me, you know, like some people get it when they listen to music. You know, they hear certain songs, it takes them right back to that place. With me, I take pictures and it takes me back to that moment, and I'm just it's just blissful. As far as relationships, I mean, you run it how you gonna run it, you know.
Absolutely, you do what works for you.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, then we've seen,
might not do that with every relationship,
right? Though. But we've seen some crazy. I know I have. I've seen some crazy stuff play out on Instagram and Facebook, and I was like
what, from the good to the bad?
Oh yeah. I've seen the demise. Like I've seen them when it was joyous, you know.
But that was their story,
pictures.
I mean, I get it. I get it, and it's entertainment. You know, you like, damn, and she just really like leaned on, cause you know, but
when you're hurt, you do different things.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that we should also like really, you know, that attributes to it. If you're hurt, then you're kind of just like you're going in, right? And that's again why I say that I've learned to really take a moment and ask myself, do I need to post this? Is this necessary? And you know, I don't think a lot of people, while I get social media, I just feel like you don't need to post everything. My one fear is that leaked nude, like that. You're like, right? I'm gonna be real because we've all done it, but like, oh my gosh, my parents would be traumatized for life. I'm not really caring about anybody else except for my parents.
So,
I'm serious. I mean, I would lie about it to my grave. That's not me. That tattoo. I don't know who.
I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of news on social media now. Like, and it seems like they're giving them away for free now. You know, you ain't got to do too much of nothing.
Yeah, that is true.
Slide a little in the DM. You got your nice little whatever. Is that so bad now? Being exposed like that, being exposed in the nude.
Not if you use it the right way.
I mean, that's putting some people on, right?
Yeah. I mean, Kim did way more than the nude. I feel like it's unfortunate that by doing something so, what's the right word?
Raunchy?
Yeah, raunchy, so like blatant, allows people like Kim Kardashian to get on, you know, like.
I mean, that seems like the new hustle, you know, give people what they want, you know.
I mean, they say sex sells.
I mean, it definitely does. You know, and that's the thing. That's like one of my things, you know, where I definitely tried to stay away from was, sex you know, eye candy or whatever. As a photographer, you know, and the second I got anything close to that, I'm either getting applause or I'm getting I'm having problems. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's the business, you know. That's the business that is selling. And damn, I guess I'm Monique in this shit. You know, where's your integrity?
Where's your integrity?
Where's your integrity at? You know, that's a big thing. You know.
Do you think that we should be appreciative of it, like of the nude? Does it, right? Because I've seen some tastefully amazing nude pictures that I would love to copy, right? Mm-hmm. Is there a way? I feel like I couldn't post a nude on my Instagram, right?
Why not?
One, because I have like family members who follow me, and
that's all, right? That's the only thing that would bother you.
No, what would bother me is that even if it was done very tastefully, there would still be backlash as to why I thought it was necessary to show my body to gain attention or.
So it's the judgment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, so speaking candidly, like I I'm not gonna say probably within the last 5 years or so. Probably I want to say probably as soon as I hit 30, I came into a whole another beast of comfortability, and it was amazing. The confidence, the freedom to look at yourself in the nude and be like, damn, like, okay, cool, like I'm good, like, you know. And that's not, when you get there to that point, then everything else is kind of just like, I'm being this for me, not for anybody else. But social media is very judgmental, and I will say that's one thing that I definitely battle with, especially as somebody who wants to go into podcasting, being on YouTube, those troll comments that can, or, you know, that may come. All of that is like something to consider when you want to be in the public eye. However, I think that transparency, there are so many other people like me, right? So like me stepping out of my comfort zone allows somebody else to step out of theirs.
How do we control how much effect social media has on our lives? You know, when do we step away from that and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna live the way I choose to live and not let this control me, you know?
I think you have to break your chains. What I mean by chains is self-judgment, judgment from your parents, judgment from your family, judgment from your teachers, judgment from students and friends and associates and enemies. There, we have been exposed to judgment since the day we popped out, right?
But do you think it was that significant?
Yes, right. So when I post on social media, I'm telling on myself.
I mean, it's important because you're not the only one.
I post in reference to who's following me.
And so I got the Instagram, I got the Facebook.
Right. So my Instagram, I'm a little bit more
right
on versus Facebook, only because on Facebook, it's not that I don't. It's not that I'm.
You don't care on Facebook?
No. It's not that I'm careful. I'm more careful on Facebook.
Okay.
I just have because Facebook has posts and Instagram is pictures, right? You can only post but so much in a picture anyway, or words if you're typing, right? But however, I do post based on who follows me. So if I feel like it might offend someone in particular, right, I won't post it. Or I might be like, whatever, if the shoe fits, wear it and post it. Don't use this as a subliminal. Don't use this as to say something you feel. Say what you feel. You see what I'm saying? So I'm a little bit more, I've always been very, I'm always thinking. I'm always like running things in my head 3-4 times. And then I'm thinking, all right, now that makes sense. You can do X, Y, and Z. But I do sometimes, I'm thinking about it as reference, like, well, how would I feel if somebody did X, Y, Z? And I feel like some people have done that to me in particular, and they may have not been, you know. But I do believe the judgment comes in based on your lifestyle. Judgment piles up, and if you're already in a space where you weren't fully
over it.
Not even over it. If you're growing up in it, imagine that, right? Imagine growing up in it and it kind of stunting you to a degree. Every level you go, it's a certain barrier you got to break, right? Which is why I said 30 was like me really being comfortable. Like I've gone through phases, right? Of like being a tom, you know this, being a tomboy to like for real. Oh, like, oh, you wearing heels today? Like, oh, okay, you got weave today.
But I mean, doesn't that make you like tougher? Doesn't that toughen up your skin? Because I feel like
everybody.
Not for everybody.
Not for everybody. I've had this conversation. I legit, in this world, I describe them as alligators. So there are alligators in this world, right, who have alligator skin. And then there are people like me who, I mean, I feel like I just have puppy skin. Like, you know, like you can't. And I'm not saying that I'm offended by everything. But what I'm saying is like.
There's some things that really.
Yeah, that penetrate.
Yeah. Definitely.
And in me being who I am, I can have certain conversations with you that you understand differently because I do have puppy skin. If that makes sense, right? Because if we were both alligators, then I'd be like, don't fucking call me with this dumbass question because you already know the answer to it. But that's not why you called me. You called me because you need a different perspective. You wanted something different that translated into something that you might actually understand differently. So therefore, everybody does not have the same skin. There are alligators, and then there are puppies. We are going to close out the show with some final remarks on social media. I think that social media, when used correctly, is a great platform. But listen, social media is amazing, and I will say don't let it be the demise of any friendship or relationship. It was supposed to bring us closer together, but oftentimes it definitely causes us to drift apart. But use social media to the betterment of your friendship, the betterment of your relationship. Don't let it overwhelm you. Take social media breaks. Absolutely. Once a month, I decided that I will take a 4 to 5 day break from social media. It's absolutely necessary.
Be careful where you get your information from too.
Fact check.
You know, just because shit is in the meme don't mean it's real. Also, don't live in that shit. People get caught up and want to live these fake lives. You know, that shit eventually catches up with you. And the truth always is gonna show its ass.
Definitely agree with that. So as you can see, once again, your girl Amiyah Deziire and the R to the moment over here. If nobody told you that they love you today, I do. You are more than worthy. Everything that you desire and that you want is out there. So do not settle. Do not settle. All right. And until next time, we will see you. Peace.
I ain't trying to complicate it. We could kick it off with some conversation. I know you had a rough past, we don't have to move fast. Take it real slow, let you contemplate it. I just want you to know